Hey, what's up? Welcome to this week's episode of 5 Minutes of Management. As always, I'm Frank Kalman here with Rick Bell. Rick, a lot has happened since the last time we had a 5 Minutes of Management. The Cubs won the World Series for the first time in more than 100 years. We elected a new president. Thanksgiving is come and gone. What's good? What's been good with you?
We are in the midst of the holiday season now, and thank God that we made it this far. And who would have ever thought that we would have elected Donald Trump and the Cubs winning the World Series within a week of each other?
Yeah, within like 5 days. Isn't that something?
Who would have made that prediction at the end of 2015?
Not me.
Not me.
We'll have to go back and look in the 5 Minutes of Management archives, but I did not predict that.
I didn't either.
Anyway.
So,
Rick,
well, now,
a lot has happened.
You know what? On top of that, so we had probably the biggest employment loss story of the entire year take place 2 days before Thanksgiving. We had a judge in Texas basically shoot down, overrule the overtime law, the Department of Labor's overtime law. And it just took everybody by surprise. And it makes me think about the Affordable Care Act and how many times it came up for a challenge, and how much employers and benefits managers how much time they had to spend planning for that. And the same thing with this overtime rule. They must have spent countless hours just planning for it, having meetings with their employees, and same thing. All of a sudden you get it shot down again.
Oh gosh, people got some big raises because I think it was actually this day, December 1st, the day we were filming this episode, that the new overtime law was supposed to go into effect. I think it was going to jump from people earning roughly $23,000 a year. It was going to shoot up to almost $47,000, $48,000 a year. If you were going to go over, you were going to get paid overtime if you didn't hit that threshold. Companies prepared mightily. They gave managers raises. They changed the nature of people's jobs. They had done so much, and then boom, all of a sudden, now we're back in sort of uncertain territory.
Yeah, and it just makes you think, all right, we do all this planning. What's the next big issue that's going to come up for HR and employers? And we're going to do all this planning, and then is it just going to be the rug going to be pulled from under our feet at the last minute?
Yeah, and unfortunately, it looks like more to come as President-elect Trump today. I mean, announcing huge steps to keep jobs in America. He even went as far as to say that he might impose huge tax fines on people who threaten to move jobs overseas. So there are going to be a lot of workforce implications for this new administration in the new year.
And of course, with the Affordable Care Act pretty much being thrown into limbo as well. So lots of changes. Maybe a prediction for 2017.
Maybe. So Rick, what if I told you, speaking of changes, what if I told you that you could keep your job with Workforce? We would find a way to film 5 Minutes of Management.
Good.
But you could travel 12 countries over the course of a year, and you could do all your work by boat, by beach, by resort. You could travel anywhere you wanted to, but you'd still be doing your work here.
Can I lay in a hammock and
you can lay in a hammock.
My laptop?
You could lay in a hammock. You could lay on a sailboat.
Nice.
Well, anyway, this is a reality for a lot of workers. There's a program out there called Remote Year, which is a company that basically gives workers the opportunity, with the approval of their companies, to basically take a year to work remotely while they travel through 12 countries. There's anecdotes of people working on beaches, on boats. They do their jobs just as they would on a daily basis. The only difference is they're not in an office, they're traveling the world. And a lot of companies like AOL, Booz Allen Hamilton have participated in this program. It's a great deal, but it brings up a lot of issues, I think, for HR people. I think, first of all, how do you manage people that are working not only in a different location, but maybe a different time zone or a different hemisphere?
Oh, sure. Yeah, exactly. I mean, the time zone difference. Now, granted, your manager could also be 600 miles away in some other exotic location. Maybe the time zone thing isn't an issue, and I guess you adapt to it. But it sort of brings to mind the old Roe.
That's right. Results-only work environment.
Correct.
Yeah, started by, I think, former Best Buy employees.
Best Buy.
The only thing about Roe was, mostly from what I understood, people still had to be in the general vicinity of the office. I mean, there was still an expectation that you would pop in every once in a while. This is completely different. It'll be interesting to see how this kind of pans out. If you're out there watching, what do you think? Comment below. Tell us, would you allow your employees to work in Bali for a year if you're located in, Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania? It just, given technology these days, you can communicate with anybody at any time, and there's so much great tools out there. But yeah, this is crazy. I love it.
Oh, I do too. And all right, so we're going to do a real short pop quiz here, Frank, on and we're going to talk about benefits. And now, would that be so? Let's talk about favorite benefits, most requested benefits. Would it be being able to work remotely on a beach in Bali? Would it be pet insurance? Could it be a concierge picking up your dry cleaning? Or could it be healthcare?
I think it's pet insurance. I always double down on my pet insurance.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't even have any pets.
Yeah, no.
You never know.
You never know when you're going to have a
I
pet.
might adopt a squirrel.
Oh, yeah, exactly. When that lizard might just walk through your door. You just never know. Snake slithers in through your toilet. But no, seriously, it's all right. So SHRM did its annual survey of HR leaders, and the report, of course, is not a surprise that 95% of HR professionals rated healthcare as one of the 3 most important benefits to employees. So yeah, so there you go. It is
just
healthcare.
Regular human insurance.
I know. Sorry, Fido.
Oh well, what can you say?
Yeah, exactly.
Well, that's all we've got for this week's episode of 5 Minutes of Management. Be sure to subscribe to all of our episodes on YouTube. You could also follow us on Twitter, Facebook, and LinkedIn. For
Yes.
Frank Kalman, we got Rick Bell. See you next time.